Okay, so day 21, end of week 3. All right. So what is going on? So much is going on. We've completed Genesis. Yay. I need a little yay button. Yay. And remember, there was a famine in the land. Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery. He ended up being a slave for Potiphar, then going to jail because talking about how people's lives and interconnect. If you knew your great 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 grandparents and knew their story and how interconnected with your great great grandparents and then your great great grandparents and your great grandparents and your grandparents and your parents and you, all of the this person may have moved to this city and met that person. If he hadn't moved, they wouldn't have met, and they had a kid, and the first kid, may have died, but the second kid lived, and since they were overprotective, they sent them here, and then you see all of these threads that eventually lead to you, and it's like, man. And we see the same thing with Joseph. They sold him into slavery. He goes Potiphar's house. She accused him of rape. Then he goes to jail. Then he ended up working for the Pharaoh. Then Joseph becomes a big deal, basically the most powerful man in the city. Then he brings his brothers and his daddy and his family. And then they come into Egypt. Then Joseph dies. But the people are still there in the land of Goshen, right? And they just grow and grow and grow. And now you just talk about a bunch of time passes. Now there's like 600,000 men. So it's probably like 1 million of them with women and kids. The Pharaoh's like, yo, there's 1 million of them. There's a lot of them. If they wanted to overtake us, they might be able to. So let me turn them into slaves, right? So then he tries to oppress them. And then they start crying out. God hears them. God works through Moses to free them. And now they are, in essence, freed out on their own. And God has given them some laws and instruction to be able to build a government from, so they're just not walking around crazy doing whatever. All right. Exodus 16 through 18. Here we go.
And all the congregation of the sons of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departure from the land of Egypt. The whole congregation of the sons of Israel grumbled against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. The sons of Israel said to them,
Would that we had died by the Lord's hand in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the pots of meat, when we ate bread to the full.
Drama.
For you have brought us out into this wilderness, to kill this whole assembly of hunger.
And one moment they're saying,
Then the Lord said to
God,
Moses,
we respect Moses,
Behold, I will rain
God
bread from
drowned all
heaven
these
for you,
people in the chariot
and the people shall
the
go
Red
out and
Sea.
gather a day's portion
Now they're
every day,
hungry.
that I
They're
may
going,
test them, whether or not
whatever,
they will
God,
walk in
whatever,
my
Moses.
instruction.
We were
On
better,
the sixth day,
better off in Egypt.
when they prepare what they bring in, it will be twice as much as they gather daily.
That's why
So
the Lord
Moses
says,
and
don't put
Aaron
your faith
said
in
to
people.
all the sons of Israel,
At
They'll
evening
take
you
your
will
help
know
today
that the
and
Lord
forget
has
you ever
brought
helped
you
them
out of
tomorrow.
the land of Egypt. And in the morning you will see the glory of the Lord, for he hears your grumblings against the Lord. And what are we, that you grumble against us?
Moses said,
This will happen when the Lord gives you meat to eat
their
in the
music is
evening,
banging.
and bread to the full in the morning. For the Lord hears your grumblings, which you grumble against him. And what are we?
So the Lord hear
Your
you
grumblings are
grumbling
not
and you're
against us,
complaining.
but against the Lord.
Then
You're
Moses
not
said to
tripping
Aaron,
on me, you tripping against God.
Say to
That's
all
why
the congregation of the
pastors,
sons of
come on, if you're
Israel,
watching
come
this,
near before the
people
Lord, for
complain.
he
They're
has
not
heard
complaining
your
about you. They're
grumblings.
not going
It
against
came
you. They're going
about as
against
Aaron
God.
spoke to the
God
whole
called you to do
congregation
what
of the
you're
sons of
doing.
Israel,
So
that they
people
looked
grumble.
toward the
They're not grumbling
wilderness,
against you. They're
and
grumbling against
behold,
God. Hopefully they
the
realize
glory
that,
of the
because they're
Lord
making
appeared
themselves
in
an
the
enemy to
cloud.
God.
And the Lord spoke to Moses,
And if you're a
saying,
grumbler,
I have heard the grumblings of the sons of Israel.
Here we
Speak to
go.
them, saying, At twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread. And you shall know that I am the Lord your God.
So it came about at evening that the quails
God's
came up
mercy,
and covered the camp. And
He's
in the
unhappy
morning
with
there
their
was a layer
grumbling.
of dew around the
But
camp.
since they're hungry, he's
When the
going to feed
layer
them.
of dew evaporated,
But the grumbling,
behold, on the
grumble.
surface of the
God isn't
wilderness
pleased.
there
It
was a
doesn't
fine flake-like thing, fine
endear
as
him
the
to you.
frost on the ground. When the sons of
grateful.
Israel saw it,
Pray for
they
your
said to one
leaders.
another,
That's what your Bible
What
says.
is it? For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them,
It is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. This is what the Lord has commanded. Gather of it every man as much as he should eat. You shall take an omer apiece, according to the number of persons each of you has in his tent.
The sons of Israel did so, and some gathered much, and some little. When they measured it with an omer, he who had gathered much had no excess, and he who had gathered little had no lack. every man gathered as much as he should eat. Moses said to them,
Let no man leave any of it until morning.
but they did not listen to Moses, and some left part of it until morning, and it bred worms and became foul. And Moses was angry with
Still
them.
won't listen.
They gathered it morning by morning, every man as much as he should eat. But when the sun grew hot, it would melt. Now on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one. When all the leaders of the congregation came and told Moses, then he said to them,
This is what the Lord meant. Tomorrow is a Sabbath observance, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake and boil what you will boil, and all that is left over put aside to be kept until morning.
So they put it aside until morning, as Moses had ordered, and it did not become foul, nor was there any worm in it. Moses said,
Eat it today, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today
So on
you
the
will not
Sabbath,
find
they
it
weren't
in the
supposed to
field.
work. So the day before the
6 days
Sabbath,
you shall gather it,
the manna
but on
that
the
they pulled
7th day of
together
the
would
Sabbath
actually
there will be none.
hold
It came
over
about
to
on the
next
7th
till
day
the
that some
Sabbath.
of the people went out to
And
gather,
the other day it would have
but
just
they
went
found
rotten.
none. Then the
Since
Lord
they're
said
not
to
supposed
Moses,
to work on the
How
Sabbath.
long do you refuse to
They
keep
would
my commandments
pull
and my
up double
instructions?
on the 6th day.
See, the
and it
Lord
would
has
last
given
from
you
the
the
6th day
Sabbath.
and the 7th.
Therefore he gives you bread for 2 days on the 6th day. Remain every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day.
So the people rested on the 7th day. The house of Israel named it Manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and its taste was like wafers with honey. Then Moses said,
This is what the Lord has commanded. Let an omerful of it be kept throughout your generations, that they may see the bread that I fed you in
So
the
he
wilderness,
says,
when I brought
Basically
you out
make
of the land
a
of
time
Egypt.
capsule with the omer of manna
Moses
so
said
people
to
can see
Aaron,
what it looked like.
Take a
throughout
jar and
generations.
put an omerful of manna
God
in
is
it,
big on
and
letting
place
the
it
next
before the
generation
Lord to be
remember.
kept throughout
They
your
need to know the
generations.
story, so they respect the story and respect the God. They need
as
to
the
know-
Lord commanded
He wants them to,
Moses,
hey, know
so
your
Aaron
heritage,
placed
know the
it
history,
before the
know
testimony
what I did for
to
the
be
people,
kept.
your people.
The sons of Israel ate the manna 40 years, until they came to an inhabited land. They ate the manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is a tenth of an ephah.
All right, let's rock. Here we go. All right. All right, chapter 17 and 18. Here we go.
Then all the congregation of the sons of Israel journeyed by stages from the wilderness of Sin, according to the command of the Lord, and camped at Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people quarreled with Moses, and said,
Give us water that we may drink.
And Moses said to them,
Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you
Why are you
test the
fighting
Lord?
with me, man? What are you doing? Why are you testing God?
But the people thirsted there for water, and they
Notice he's
grumbled
saying, you're
against
fighting
Moses
with me.
and said,
Why are you testing God? He's
Why
like,
now? Have you brought us up from Egypt to
God
kill
sees
us and our
what's going on.
children
Why are
and
you
our
trying to fight with
livestock
his
with
prophet?
thirst?
Are you
So
arguing
Moses
with
cried out to the Lord, saying,
What shall I do to this people? A little more, and they will stone me.
Then the Lord said to Moses,
Pass before the people,
God's so
and take with
patient.
you some of the elders
He
of
didn't just
Israel,
strike them down
and take
with a
in your
lightning
hand
bolt.
your staff
He didn't
with
just
which you
strike
struck
us
the
down with a
Nile,
lightning bolt
and
when
go.
we're rebellious. He's so
Behold,
forgiving and so
I will
merciful.
stand before you there on the rock at Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it, that the people may drink.
And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. He named the place Massah and Meribah because of the quarrel of the sons of Israel, and because they tested the Lord, saying, Is the Lord among us or not? Then Amalek came and fought against Israel at Rephidim.
Yikes.
So Moses said to Joshua,
Choose men
the
for
Lord
us
among
and go
us and
out,
not
fight
man.
against Amalek. Tomorrow I will station
I'm gonna call
myself
this
on the top of
place,
the hill with the staff of God in my
Massa
hand.
and Meribah.
Joshua
Because y'all
did as
are
Moses told
straight
him,
tripping.
and fought against Amalek.
And Massa
And
means
Moses,
test.
Aaron, and
Meribah
Hur
means
went
quarrel.
up to the top of the hill.
Massa and
So it
Meribah,
came
testing
about when
quarrel.
Moses held his hand up, that Israel prevailed.
Y'all playing with
And
God
when he
right
let
now.
his hand down,
Talking about is God with us or
Amalek
not? God,
prevailed.
you just
But Moses'
did you
hands
forget
were
what happened
heavy.
to the Egyptians
Then
already?
they took a stone and put
Did
it
you
under
forget the
him.
Red Sea? Did you
and he
forget
sat
manna
on it.
coming from heaven?
And Aaron and Hur supported
Come on.
his hands, one on one side and one
So
on
crazy.
the other. Thus his hands were steady until the sun set. So Joshua overwhelmed Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Then the Lord said to Moses,
I write this in a book as a memorial and recite it to Joshua, that I will utterly blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven.
Moses built an altar and named it, "The Lord is my banner." And he said,
The Lord has sworn, the Lord will have
Lord is
war
my
against
banner.
Amalek from
Come on.
generation to generation.
The word Lord
Now
is all
Jethro,
caps, so that's
the
Yahweh.
priest of
Yahweh
Midian,
is my
Moses'
banner.
father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for Israel,
Chapter
his
18.
people, how the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Moses' wife Zipporah after he had sent her away, and her 2 sons, of whom one was named Gershom, for Moses said,
I have been a sojourner in a foreign land.
the other was named Eliezer, for he said,
The God of my father was my help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh.
Then Jethro,
Sojourner.
Moses' father-in-law,
And Eliezer.
came with his sons and his wife to
El,
Moses in the
remember, means God,
wilderness,
El.
where he was
So
camped,
El,
at the
Ezer.
Mount of God.
So it wouldn't
He
necessarily
sent word to
probably been
Moses,
Eliezer, it'd probably been
I,
Eleazar.
your father-in-law
My God is
Jethro,
help.
am
His
coming
name
to
would have
you
been
with your
Eleazar. My
wife
God
and her
is
2
help.
sons with her.
Think about saying
Then
that.
Moses went out
My
to
God
meet
is
his
help. Come here.
father-in-law, and he bowed down and
My
kissed
God
him.
is help. Come here.
And they asked each other of their welfare, and went into
Of
the tent.
Gershon. Sojourner, come
Moses
here.
told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done to Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, all the hardship that had befallen them on the journey, and how the Lord had delivered them. Jethro rejoiced over all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel in delivering them from the hand of the Egyptians. So Jethro said,
Blessed be the Lord who delivered you from the hand of the Egyptians and from the hand of Pharaoh, and who delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all the gods. Indeed, it was proven when they dealt proudly against the people.
Then
funny how
Jethro,
Jethro
Moses'
said,
father-in-law,
you want my
took
my
a burnt
daughter
offering
to
and
wander around this desert
sacrifices
with
for
you?
God.
No.
And Aaron come with
So
all
he
the
took
elders
Zipporah,
of Israel to eat a meal with
Gershon,
Moses'
and,
father-in-law
Eleazar,
before
and
God.
bounced.
It came about the next
But he
day
did come
that
and visit
Moses
them in the
sat
desert.
to judge the people. And the people stood about Moses from the morning until the evening. Now, when
All
Moses'
day.
father-in-law saw
Sitting
all
judging.
that he was doing for the people, he said,
What is this thing that you are doing for the people? Why do you alone sit as judge, and all the people stand about you from morning until evening?
Moses said to his father-in-law,
Because the people come to me to inquire of God. When they have a dispute, it comes to me, and I judge between a man and his neighbor, and make known the statutes of God and his laws.
Moses' father-in-law said to him,
The thing that you are doing is not good. You will surely wear out both yourself and these people who are with you, for the task is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone. Now listen to me. I will give you counsel, and God be with you. You be the people's representative before God, and you bring the disputes to God. Then teach them the statutes and the laws, and make known to them the way in which they are to walk, and the work they are to do. Furthermore, you shall select out of all the people able men who fear God, men of truth, those who hate dishonest gain. And you shall place these over them as leaders of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens. Let them judge the people at all times, and let it be that every major dispute
says
they will
there's
bring to you,
wisdom
but
in a
every minor
multitude of
dispute they
counsel.
themselves will judge.
Let's give
So
them
it
some
will be
good counsel
easier for
right
you,
now.
and they will bear the burden with you. If you do this thing and God so commands you, then you will be able to endure, and all these people also will go to their place in peace.
So Moses listened to his father-in-law and did all that he had said. Moses chose able men out of all Israel and made them heads over the people, leaders of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens. They judged the people at all times. The difficult dispute they would bring to Moses, but every minor dispute they themselves would judge. Then Moses bade his father-in-law farewell, and he went his way into his own land.
Man, that was so good, y'all. That was so good. I am deeply impressed by, for one, the wisdom of Moses's father-in-law. For one, he's like, you're not gonna have my daughter walking around here with this wilderness. So he took her with Gershom and Eleazar, with Sojourner and my God is help. Um, and then he brought him back to Moses in the desert and gave him some good counsel, which Moses took. He says, man, you're going to burn yourself out. You need to distribute some wealth. And I'll tell you, I can tell you from personal experience. And we're right now currently still looking for some administrative help at the church. When you're trying to do it all, it's easy to burn yourself out. If you're able to take wisdom and delegate, that's better. So those are some good advice, man. Oh man, this is so good. Bless y'all. Make sure y'all read these chapters either before the commentary or after the video commentary. This videos and the animation, I'm really loving how they did Exodus here. Just once again, just found it online. If you go and Google Exodus Visual Bible, you probably find them on YouTube. Give them a subscribe. They put in a lot of work to this, and it's a very helpful tool. So let's show them some love. Make sure you post in the group and post on social media, man. Y'all post on what y'all doing on Rooted. Maybe post a link to and encourage people to download it themselves and get involved. Let's spread the gospel, y'all. We can change the world if we want to. Let's want to. All right. I love you. God bless you. See you tomorrow.